Guys, it's time. The moment has arrived. We are in the very last lesson of book 1. Are you guys ready? We'll try to keep it as short as we can. Let's go. First up, I do hope that you studied your katakana because we have some reading practice here. Many of these come from English, but remember that katakana is used for all foreign borrowed words. That does not mean English all the time. Some of these words come from French, some are from Spanish, one of them is from German. So they're not all from English. So if you see a katakana word and you're like, Psh, I don't know what this word means. This isn't an English word. That's because it probably isn't an English word. It's probably a different language. Katakana is for foreign borrowed words. English happens to be a foreign language. A lot of them do happen to come from English, but that doesn't mean that all of them come from English. So just to be clear, a lot of them are from other languages too. So first up, we have this one here. It's a desktop computer. This word is also used for laptop computers, pretty much any kind of personal computer. Take a minute, pause if you need to. What do you think this says? Ready? Pasokon. Pasokon. This is short. It's an abbreviation of personal computer. So paso is short for personal, and then con is short for computer. Paso con computer, personal computer. They do that with a lot of words where it'll be a longer English word and then they'll kind of abbreviate it into something smaller. That happens pretty commonly. Next up, we have this one. Take a minute. What do you think? It's radio. Radio, meaning radio. Next up, what do you think? This one is hoteru. Hoteru, hotel. Now, the first 3 come from English, but this next one is actually from French. This comes from French. It's zubon. Zubon. That means pants. And hanzubon is shorts. They are literally half pants. Hanzubon. This next one down here, it means a part-time job. So like if you work at like a fast food place, something like that. Like not a full-time job, but a part-time one. A part-time job is an arubaito. Arubaito. That comes from German. I don't have it on here, but pan, which means bread, that comes from Spanish. So pan is Spanish, bread. The next one is English, or it's from English. So what do you think? The boy is watching terebi. Terebi, which is short for television. TV, terebi, television. This one is a sound word. Sound words are often written in katakana, and it's doki doki. It's the sound that your heart makes when it's thumping. It's the thump thump sound that your heart makes. Doki doki. Now, take a look at the last one here. The last one, it's an apartment. It's a type of apartment, but it's called a mansion. Mansion, which comes from the English word mansion. And it's just an apartment, but specifically it's a very tall, large apartment. So like the ones that you're going to see in like Tokyo, for example, your shorter 2 to 3 story apartments, those are not mansions. Those are apatos, right? But the really tall ones, they're usually larger on the inside also. So the inside's a little bit larger and they're very tall. That's a key thing, that they have to be really tall in order for them to be considered a mansion. But it's just an apartment and they use the English word mansion. So, fun fact for you. Now, let's take this to another level. This time, you're going to read it and see if you can figure out what it is. It's a little bit easier when you have a picture to reference. A hint, when I see a katakana word that I've not seen before, I start off by saying it slowly and see if I can hear the word that it comes from, assuming it comes from English. If it comes from a language that's not your native language, this trick won't work for you. But assuming that it does come from your native language, you can try to say it slowly first, and then try saying it faster and faster until you can kind of hear the word that it's coming from. So, take a minute. What do you think this is? It says, makudo, makudo, narudo. Makudo, narudo. Makudo, narudo. This one's really tricky. What do you think? It's McDonald's. Maku, Mick, Donaldo, Donald, Donaldo, Donald, McDonaldo, McDonald's. And McDonald's in Japan is very, very different from McDonald's in other countries. I love the sign here. It says Konnichiwa. Wow. I love that. It's so punny. It's great. I really want to try this Fuji Apple McFreeze. That looks pretty good. And how not fair is it that McDonald's in Japan has Twister fries? Like, America's slacking. We need to pick it up a notch. Let's try another one. This one's a little easier. I gave you a tricky one the first time. This one's easier. It is an English word. Comes from English. What do you think? Elevator. Elevator. What do you think? Elevator. Elevator. Anytime there is a V sound in Japanese, they usually replace it with a B instead. That is a hint. This is an elevator. Elevator. And this is a sticker that you can put on an elevator so that it looks like there's a big buff guy opening the doors. All right, here's another one. We have necktie. 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 What do you think that is? If you guessed a necktie, you are correct. All right. I think this is the last one. This is an important one. You're going to need to know this one. What does it say? Toire. 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 What do you think that is? If you guessed toilet, you are correct. You should know the word toilet. Even if you're just going for a vacation, if you're not going to learn any words, if none of the things that you have learned throughout the course of this book have stuck with you, this is the word that needs to stick with you if you plan on going to Japan. You need to know how to ask, where is the toilet? Toilet. 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 This dog is using the toilet. Okay. Now that the katakana is out of the way, the very final lesson of this book is about time, which is actually not too bad. It's really not. It's fairly straightforward compared to like counting, things like that, which are more difficult. Telling time is pretty easy, I think. You might disagree with me, but we'll see. So first we'll do the hours. They're up here. They are very simple. You just take the number and then put ji. So 1 o'clock would be ichiji. 2 o'clock, niji. 3 o'clock, sanji. The ones that are in bold are the ones that are a little bit special. They're not really special, but they are the ones that have like multiple ways to say them. Like you cannot say shiji. For 4 o'clock, it has to be yoji. And for 7 o'clock, you cannot say nanaji. You must say shichiji. And then 9 o'clock, you cannot say kyuji. It must be kuji. Other than that, though, there's no special rules with it. It's pretty straightforward. So those are the hours. You just need to say your number and then ji. And then we have minutes, which are mostly straightforward. But some of them are hun and some of them are pun. You will just have to memorize that. I did put 1 through 10 here. All of the numbers above that, if they end with one of the ones that have pun, they will also have pun. So, for example, 21 would end with 1, so it would have pun. Anyway, let's go through them one by one. 1 minute is ipun, ipun. 2 minutes, nifun. 3 minutes, sanpun. 4 minutes, yonpun. 5 minutes, gofun. 6 minutes, ropun. There's a little tsu there, ropun. 7, nanafun. 8 minutes, hapun. 9 minutes, kyufun. And 10 minutes, jippun. Then just as an example here, if we take 50 minutes, which is going to have the 5 plus the 10, right? Goju. Because 10 minutes is jippun, 50 minutes must be gojuppun, right? Because the very last part has the pun. So it's pretty straightforward. You do this with all the numbers. If it ends in 1, you're going to use this one. If it ends with 4, you're going to use this one. So this works with all numbers 1 through 60. Pretty straightforward for the most part, but you can take a picture of this for reference if you need to. Now, let's talk about the word han, which means half, right? Just like the hanzubon means shorts, they are half pants. We can also use the word han to mean something 30, right? A half hour is han, right? And the kanji for it is quite simple, so I went ahead and included it, even though we haven't technically started kanji yet. It's an easy one. Then we have morning, which also means like AM, but it's gozen. Gozen, that's morning. Then afternoon, also PM, so we can put this with a time to mean PM. That's gogo. Gogo, so gozen, morning, gogo, afternoon. So just as an example, the clock here on the table says 7:30. If I want to say 7:30 in the morning, we put morning first. It's a little different from English because we would normally put morning after, right? In Japanese, it goes first. So gozen, shichiji, han. Shichi is 7. Ji is time or hour. So shichiji, han, and a half. AM, 7 o'clock and a half. That's pretty much what this means. It is 7:30 in the morning. If I want to say the exact same thing, but now I want to say PM, now it's 7:30 in the afternoon, it's going to be gogo instead of gozen. So gogo, shichiji, han, 7:30 PM. PM goes in the front. Okay, let's practice a bit with these clocks. So on this first one, we're going to do the hour first. So our hour hand is between the 1 and the 2. We know it's not quite 2 o'clock yet. So how do I say 1 o'clock? 1 hour. It's the number 1, which is ichi, and then ji, right? Ichiji. Now let's look at our minute hand, which is over here pointing at the 8. That's 40 minutes. So it is 1:40. How do I say 40 minutes? What do you think? 40分. 40分. So, what time is it? 1時40分. If I wanted to add morning or afternoon, that would go in the front. All right, let's look at this next one. So, this time, it's almost 6 o'clock, but it's not quite 6 o'clock yet. So how do I say 5 o'clock? That's going to be 5時. 5時. And we've got 5 minutes. It's 5 till 6. How do I say 55 minutes? What do you think? It's kind of a long one. 55分. 55 minutes. Easy peasy. So once again, it is almost 9 o'clock, but it's not quite. So how do I say 8 o'clock? 8時. 8時. And this time we're pointing at the 10. So how do I say 50 minutes? 50分. This time we don't have the 5 to separate. We have 10. So we have to use the shorter version, right? The 10分. 8時50分です. It is 8:50. Last one. This time it is 15 after 7. How can we say that in Japanese? It's going to be 7時15分. 7 hours, 15 minutes. Easy peasy. Now, let's make it more interesting. We have 2 particles. We have kara, which means from, and mare, which means until. Both of them can be used for time and also location. So, in the first one, we have nanji kara. Nan means what? Ji means time or hour. Kara is from. So, from what time? From what hour? 9時半 kara. From 9:30. From 9:30. Easy peasy. We can also use it for location. Doko kara would mean from where. From where are you going? Or from where are you coming? The second one says Furansu kara. From France. Right? I'm coming from France. This cheese came from France. Right? Where is it from? Mare. We have itsu mare. Itsu, if you remember, is when. So until when? Until when do you have work? Until when do you have school? Until when is your vacation? We can say kino made. Until tomorrow. Right? Easy peasy. Same thing with location. Doko made. Until where? Right? Until where are you going to walk? How far are you going to walk, essentially? Right? Osaka made. Right? Until Osaka. I'm going to take the train until Osaka. So, we have some sample questions here. Let's take a look at them. It says, 夏休みはいつからいつまでですか? Natsuyasumi is summer vacation. Then we have いつから from when, いつまで until when ですか is it. From when until when is your summer vacation? Right? So when does your summer vacation start and when does it end? Okay. At least where I live, I don't know about other places, but where I'm living, generally speaking, 夏休みは4月から8月までです. From April until August is summer vacation. So it starts in April, it ends in August. Let's look at another one. This one has a katakana word. You don't know this word, but you do know katakana now. Give it a shot. What do you think? Interview. Interview. That's an easy one, I think. That one's pretty easy. What do you think that is in English? Interview. Interview は何時から何時までですか? Okay. The interview. From what time until what time is it? That's important to know, right? It says 午後2時から2時半までです. What do you think that one means? 午後. Is that morning or afternoon? What do you think? It's afternoon. So in the afternoon, 2時から from 2 o'clock, 2時半まで until 2:30. This, it is. So the interview is from 2 to 2:30 in the afternoon. Okay, this one says, どこまで歩きますか? どこまで until where? 歩きますか? Will you walk? Until where will you walk? Maybe you're taking a morning jog. You like to walk around the block. How far are you walking? Right? How far are you going? 学校まで歩きます. 学校 is school. So until the school, I will walk. Easy peasy. And so now, since this is the final lesson in this book, I have a bonus question for you. We will read it together, but I want you to answer it on your own. I'm not going to tell you what it means. So I want you to translate this yourself and leave me a comment below what you think it means. Are you ready? この学校からあの学校まで3時間ぐらいかかります. What do you think that means? I'm not going to tell you. Let me know in the comments what this translates to. And we are officially done with book 1. I will start book 2 soon, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!